Alrighty boys, now in today's video we're going to be talking a little bit more about Bloodhunt. Now I know a lot of my subscribers are probably fairly unfamiliar with Bloodhunt. The game, as of right now, it does have a fairly small player base, relatively speaking. Today I wanted to go ahead and talk about the brown-nosed YouTubers slash streamers that make up the Bloodhunt community. And the reason I wanted to talk about them is because they're the reason that the game is going to die. Just like I said in my last video about how people that say that the game is not broken in its current state, it's a completely balanced game. The sandbox is perfect the way it is. Just like those people, the Bloodhunt streamers and YouTubers that brown nose and say the same thing, they're also the reason that the game is going to die. The only thing that distinguishes the YouTubers slash streamers that I'll be talking about in this video from who I was talking about in my last video is that they are YouTubers and streamers. People I was talking about in the last video were just pussy-ass members of the community. Now, as expected on my last video, I had my fair share of comments from people saying stuff like, oh, the game's fine right now, just use movement. Unironically, people telling me just to use movement after making as many good, concise, and thorough points as I did in the video just goes to prove to me how fucking stupid the Bloodhunt community is. Like, you guys are actually fucking retarded. I will say right off the rip, like I did in my last video, if you're not one of those people, if you have a fucking brain in your head, I'm not talking to you when I say you're retarded to the Bloodhunt community. Just know that I'm not talking about you because, you know, I'm not going after the entire Bloodhunt community. I'm not generalizing here. There is, however, a very annoying and honestly problematic portion of the community, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. The people that have influence, the people that make YouTube videos, the people that stream this game and then still go on to say there's nothing wrong with the game, everything has a counter, nothing is overpowered, shut the fuck up. It's obvious you just want to be in the creator program. Now, for those of you that are unfamiliar with Bloodhunt, the game is going to be rolling out a creator program right away for people that have been playing the game since the first playtest, for people that have been loyal to the game, essentially. Now, being loyal to the game, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great game. I'm loyal to the game myself, probably not to the extent that a lot of, you know, creators are on the game. Being loyal to the game is not problematic at all. But what is problematic is when you ride the dick of the game devs so fucking hard and don't tell them that there's anything wrong with their game. When you essentially put your hand on the fucking Bible and say, no, this game is perfect the way it is, you know, even though it's objectively worse than it was in the last playtest, it's perfect. Now, I remember back when the last playtest was out, all of these content creators were streaming over on Twitch, right? And it has a fairly small viewer base. Like, relatively speaking, it has quite a small viewer base. There was maybe 200, 300, 400 sometimes people watching at once. Every now and then you'd have a bigger name playing the game, so then we'd get like 2,000 or 3,000 more viewers. But most of the time it had like a 200, 300, 400 viewer base on Twitch. Now, the problem with that is that a lot of these creators are clearly new to the idea of properly representing a game, and I base that statement on the fact that all of them clearly seem to think that the only way to become a part of the Bloodhunt creator program is to sing the praises of the game to the masses and never say a negative word about the game. Otherwise, SharkMob won't consider them to be a part of the creator program. Well, I have a few points to make in this video, but the main point of this video is going to be that is just not true. These Bloodhunt creators need to pull their heads out of their asses, because if they really think singing praises and never talking about the bad aspects of the game is A, going to secure them a spot in the creator program, and B, actually be healthy for the game, then they're fucking brain dead and need to rethink their strategy. All these at Bloodhunt is the best game ever tweets is just you burying your head between the legs of all the devs at SharkMob, throating them for their mistakes. And the reason I'm making this video in particular is because after this last video, well, first of all, I should say that I do think that this is a legitimate problem, but the main reason I'm making this video is because somebody else brought to my attention that it could actually be a legitimate issue for the community. Person's gonna stay anonymous, but I did receive a DM on Twitter just giving me a list of people that are creators in the Bloodhunt atmosphere, you know, kind of just really brown-nosing, not doing great things for the community in that regard. And it's almost like they're convinced that not being honest about where the game is at is going to secure them more of a spot in the creator program than anybody else. But in all reality, I do feel like it's the other way around. I feel like if you're more honest with the game devs, they're going to actually consider you more. Like, if you were a game dev, think of it like this. If you actively know that there are issues with your game, right? And then all of a sudden you have all these people being like, oh no, it's the best game I've ever played. There's nothing wrong with it. The sandbox is completely balanced, and, you know, all of the weapons are balanced, and it's perfect. Everything works great. You as a dev, you're gonna look at that and be like, why is this guy kissing up to me when there's actually clearly problems with the game? Like, a lot of people, like so many people are saying that there are blatant issues with the game, and we got all these content creators absolutely shoving their fucking noses in my asshole. Like, what are you supposed to do with that, man? You're not gonna be thinking, oh, this guy is such an honest, open creator, he's saying it how it is, and yeah, we'll put him in the creator program. I think the devs are gonna look at that and be like, well, why couldn't you tell us the truth? Why were you trying to spread this message that the game was fine fine how it was when that's clearly not the case. These content creators are literally the same kind of people I was talking about in my last video with the, you know, telling the devs that the game is completely okay and the devs might actually listen to that. Only these people have influence. These people actually legitimately have a following of people that they convince, and because of their following, because of their online presence and stuff like that, the devs listen to them. The devs legitimately listen to creators more than they listen to the community. It is a known fact. Why it works like that when social following is completely arbitrary, I don't know, man, but that is how it works. And now here's the thing. The person that sent me all these DMs of all of these different Twitter ads of people that are just really brown-nosed towards the devs, I will say, a lot of them aren't necessarily brown-nosed. A lot of them just really thoroughly enjoy the game and say that it's their favorite game. There may just be an overall misconception on my end and a lack of context given for me to understand why this person was saying that these people are such brown noses. But anyways, that's why I'm not going to be naming any content creators in particular in this video, is because there are some that are very blatantly brown nosing, but I don't want to go after everybody that this person had DM'd me about, because it's just, there's a lot of people that aren't actually brown nosing from what I can see. And there's nothing wrong with liking the game. I really like the game myself. I just wish that it was a bit more balanced during the last playtest, because if it was, I wouldn't have as much built up frustration towards it as I do. The community has quite a bit to do with that as well, but that's irrelevant. Now, I'm going to bring up a game called Warframe, and I know that a lot of you watching this are probably going to be like, oh, that's, you want to talk about irrelevant. Well, that's irrelevant. No, listen, hear me out, okay? The reason I bring up Warframe is because back in the day, that game was fucked. So many people wanted so many more things for that game, but there was also like a 50% margin of that player base that just was like, okay, it's fine, thank you devs, I really appreciate it, thank you for doing this and taking the time to make the game, we really appreciate you. But then there was one content creator named Life of Rio. Now, Life of Rio said it how it was, said it how most people, I mean, even back then, there was a lot of people that really liked what he said, but the mass majority of people absolutely fucking shredded this guy apart for saying things how they were. And that's what I'm doing for this community right now, okay? Obviously, I'm not on the level of Life of Rio, and I don't think I will be for a very long fucking time, because that guy's doing good on YouTube. However, what got him there was being real with the community that he was a part of. And now I'm not like 100% a part of the Bloodhunt community. When it does finally release, I'll be playing that shit every now and then, right? It's not going to be something I'm doing all the time like a lot of you fucking no-lifes out there, but I'm saying things how they are for the good of the game, for the good of the community, dude. And a lot of you are probably going to try and tear me apart even for this video. I know this community fucking sucks, dude, because a lot of people just don't like facing the fact that this game is broken as shit right now. But I'm saying it how it is for the good of the community, for the good of all of you, dude. Even those of you that are shitting on me in my comments every time I post a video on Bloodhunt, like, I'm doing this for you, man. Fucking relax and think about that. You know what I mean? Like, why do you gotta be so fucking hardcore about this shit and be fucking retarded about it? Like, I'm trying to do the good, I'm trying to do right by the Bloodhunt community here, and you just don't want that, bro. You just don't want to accept the fact that the game isn't in an amazing state, or wasn't in this last playtest. I don't know, dude. In this little break that we have from Bloodhunt, while it's not up anymore, I'm gonna be continuing to make videos. I have a couple in the bag, in the briefcase to whip out. After Bloodhunt drops, I'm gonna be making videos on it. I'm gonna be the Bloodhunt commentary fella. Say whatever the fuck you want, boys. I am here to stay. Deal with it. That's it for me, though. Like the video, subscribe. Anyways, peace out.